He was, in fact, named Herschel Walker because trading Walker gave the Cowboys the draft capital they needed to become the team of the decade. So we're joined by Jimmy Johnson, and the first thing we really want to talk about, Jimmy, is that trade. Maybe the most famous trade in football history.
4 years ago, the Cowboys paid Herschel $5 million to come to Dallas. On Thursday, they paid him over $1 million to leave. Walker was traded to the Vikings for 5 players and as many as 7 draft choices.
How did the idea first pop into your head?
Well, Jeremy, first of all, everybody talks about the trade. That was one trade of 51 trades that we made when I was in Dallas. And without question, it helped give us a jump start on our football team. But how it came about was, when I got to Dallas, I just left the University of Miami and a great football team. And I realized that there just really wasn't a lot of talent there. Tom Landry is a great football coach, but he had 3 straight losing seasons, and they were 3-13 his last year. And so, I actually talked to our coaches. I said, if we just take the best player available, like most teams do back in those days, I said, we're not going to be around here after about 3 years because there's no way we can turn this thing around just taking the best player available. So we need to jumpstart it. We need to do something to get draft picks. We knew the college players. And so we needed draft picks. And I said, what do we have that's of any value that people want? And in fact, I was talking to Al Davis a bunch during that time because he was trying to pick my brain about college players. And he said, Jimmy, there's not a lot of teams that want anybody on your team.
I still got it. He can still do it. So I'm also celebrating the deal on the front end.
The Vikings didn't understand it either. That was the key.
Mike,
that they didn't get it.
Mike Lynn was stripped naked on Main Street at noon.
The initial impression was the shock of it, because it was so, especially in that era, there weren't trades like that being made, and certainly not for superstar players. That's why it was such a long shot in terms of how it's going to work out.
Jimmy Johnson was...
I think this organization was led by Jerry and Jimmy. Hey, they were willing to roll the dice, man, and they hit right.
It's not like, I don't think they wanted to give Herschel up. They had just so many needs, and you hear this a lot now, that, we have a great running back, but we're not winning in games with him. And so we can't win with him. Not like we want to win. He's our only asset, is the way Jimmy looked at it. And so he turned that asset into more assets. I don't know that they were on the level of Herschel, but there were certain, let's say when you got 4 or 5, players, and then you get the momentum, from that trade that kind of launches you, let's say. Once you get that head of steam going, you're unstoppable.
It's one of those moments...